Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and I am so excited to have Mr. Tom Renz here from Ohio, who is a fighting attorney for our country and for our rights. He's an amazing man of faith, and I'm just so thrilled and so grateful that he's here with me today. So, Tom, welcome, and I'm so grateful for all that you're doing to support our missions of, having equal access and knowing our rights and fighting for our Constitution and everything that you've done. So, thank you so much.
Well, I'm honored, and you've got a ministry, and you're doing that. So, that's everything, right? That's what we fight for.
Right.
We fight for God, for family, for country. And, I didn't get a chance to tell you this pre-interview, but so my friend Ibn Ali, the nephew of Muhammad Ali,
Okay.
and I we're just launching a ministry.
Praise God.
So we're actually, along with all the other things, and what we're going to do is, I got some creative ideas to leverage some of the legal stuff related to the ministry to try and provide protection for people who are believers.
Awesome.
Because we got to look what they're doing to our kids.
I know, it's
Look
crazy.
what, the porn in the schools, the trans stuff, all this stuff.
Pride Month is right now.
And there's some actions that we can take in conjunction with the ministry that are pretty neat. So I figure if I can help spread the word, and then also be empowered to take some fights to some bad guys, and leverage our ability to protect my fellow brothers and sister Christians. Well, that's a win. So I'm actually pretty excited about that.
That is awesome. What a segue from law to, and obviously Christians need lawyers. Churches need lawyers. Churches have been under attack since 2020 more than they ever have, that I'm aware of anyway.
Yeah.
It sure seems like it with, shutting the doors and not allowing people to congregate. Well, that's the enemy trying to steal, kill, and destroy because he doesn't want us together, right?
Yep, absolutely. Well, but this is what they did, right? If you've got a pastor that'll sell out and won't tell you that Joe Biden's a POS, Joe Biden who's pushing porn in schools, who's pushing, abortion up to birth, all these different things. Listen, at the end of the day, if your Christian minister will not say that that's wrong, then they're not doing their job.
You're right.
Right? But, a lot of them are afraid. They've been bullied. They've been told if we say that, you're going to lose your tax exempt. You're going to lose this. You're going to lose that. I don't care. No one said that carrying the mantle of Christ was easy. So listen, I'm not leaving law. I'm actually just kind of expanding what we're doing. But what we're doing, our law, my work has always been in, around, and about faith. So what we're doing is we're just taking what we've done and we're going to kind of expand and use kind of the overlap between law and faith to really leverage what we can to protect our brothers and sisters while trying to expand. We're not asking anybody to leave your church to come to ours. We're asking how we can help your church and help spread the word. My focus as far as the ministry goes, I'm a lawyer, right? So I'm comfortable with the sinners, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm a guy who believes that Christ came to heal the sick, not the well. And so, to me, I hope that I'm a lawyer. I'm not a good enough man to really lead a flock to Christ, but what I am is a good enough man to introduce them to Christ and to introduce a sinner like me to Christ and to say, listen, if he can save me, he can save you.
Oh, absolutely. We're all sinners of word, thought, and deed, right? There was only one perfect man, that was Jesus.
Yeah.
And so we want to make him famous by, walking out what he's called us to do, obviously. So he gets all the glory because we're surrendering to him and his desires for our life. So you going into ministry as a lawyer, I think is a beautiful marriage. And it'll be awesome because of who you are in your faith, who you are in wanting to protect people legally and know what their rights are. Jesus was one who was obviously went through hell and back for us to set us free.
Well, if I'm lucky, the more I teach it, the more I preach it, the better I'll be able to live it. Because, it's a tough road, right? So in my world, my job's to fight bad guys. I'm fighting people who, they're putting shots in the arm of children that they knew had no benefit and knew might kill the kids. If you're willing to kill a child for money, you are evil. There's just no way around that. And I got to look at real ugly things. And I deal with this for a living. So it takes a toll, it breaks you down, it makes you a lesser man. It really does. So, you do your best to try and stay above and to, not let that stuff happen. But man, you spend enough time fighting in the ring with the devil, you start wanting to fight like he does. And you got to really check yourself very, very hard on a very consistent basis to make sure that you're still, that I'm not fighting out of anger. I'm not fighting out of hate. I'm fighting out of a desire for justice, a desire to ensure that the people who are innocent are protected. That's what I fight for, and I got to keep it there. But boy, it's easy to be mad and start fighting out of hate and anger and rage sometimes,
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a pretty crazy world out there when it comes to, especially the children. My husband has always said to me that there was 3 things that his father said he protected beyond anything, and that's the elderly, women, and children.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, if you would do anything less than die for your children, I can't relate to you. I have 2 boys, they're 11 and 14, and I don't think I can actually relate to not being willing to do anything for them. Like, I mean, I'm not a perfect dad, I'm running all over the country, but I'm doing it in part so that they've got a future, because right now our freedom is under attack on a level we may never see it come back. So you got to understand that to me, it's a necessary thing for their future, and yeah, I got to miss them. But when a soldier's taking off to war to fight for the freedom of this nation, they're not with their family. And in the same way, God's called me to be a part of this war for freedom, this war for His kingdom, and this is a fight for good and evil. I mean, listen, we're fighting evil people.
It's definitely a spiritual warfare.
It is, and you take a position. You use, I fight a lot of worldly fights. The law is worldly, but the law also can interfere with your ability to be with God. It can interfere with, if you can't hear the word because the speech is censored, if you can't practice your faith. So the law is really a foundational thing that can really interfere with the ability to have a relationship with God, to be at peace. And so, this is a critical thing, and I'm honored to fight it.
Well, and you do a great job, Tom. And I just want to acknowledge how hard you work and how you've stayed in the fight with the Reawaken tour. That's where we first met, 4 years ago, and you and your beautiful wife, and you've stuck and stayed because you know what's right and from what's wrong.
Yeah, and I don't always do it. I mean, listen, I fail.
Well,
I'll be honest. As a man, I sin. I make mistakes. I do things wrong all the time. I will say one thing though. I promised God when this fight started that if He put it before me, I would stay true in this fight to the best of my ability and fight it His way. And the proudest thing that I can say right now, the single thing that I've done that I'm most proud of, is I've held to that in the fight. I've made mistakes as a man. I've made mistakes as a father, as a husband, as a person, and probably in every way that you can, right? But I've stayed true in the fight, and I've done it the right way that I promised God I would. And when it's been hard and easy to sell out and easy to do, I've never done it. I've always done what's right. I've always, to the best of my ability. Right. And I can't say, I don't know if it was always perfect, but it was always the best I knew how.
Well, your intentions are always good, Tom, and you can sleep good at night knowing that you've done the best you can, and we all want to one day hear well done, good and faithful servant, and that's what we all aspire to, and so I just want to obviously encourage you and applaud you and let you know that your efforts don't go unnoticed, and that there's a lot of people that are so proud of you fighting the fight for this mission of having the rights for free speech or to go to church, and all the things that you are doing is a blessing. So you can hopefully lay your head down on that pillow at night knowing that you've done the best you can.
I've got a clear conscience. I can tell you that. I've done my best, and I'm proud of the work that we've done. We're making progress. People are awake to what's going on with the vaccines. They're awake to what's going on with a lot of things. Even the mainstream started to wake up on the COVID stuff. People are starting to question everything, and that's what we need. That's how we get to freedom.
That, and we just have to put a shield of protection of prayers over the people that did get vaccinated, because
Yes.
now those side effects and the complications are coming out. We saw someone today that was on the Kansas City football team and had
Yep.
near-death experience, and obviously all of those football players had
Yep.
the vaccine. So
Yep. The
you
only
just-
thing we can do is pray for them.
and trust and believe that God's got us all, and that this too shall end, and we'll be done with that. But I also wanted to just tell you that I don't know all of the details, but I understand that your wife is having a challenge right now, and that we just continue to hold her and you and your sons up in prayer, trusting and knowing that God's the great physician, the great healer. He knows the beginning from the end, and that it's going to be a beautiful celebration when she overcomes this. And I'm trusting and believing that God has her in the palm of His hand.
Yeah.
And so, God bless you and her and your boys.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. And God's got it.
Yes, He does. And just you know that we respect you. We pray. We'll continue to pray for you in the fight that you're in, and then I just can't wait for your ministry to be, to come to fruition, because I can only imagine, with your background in law, and then obviously having that heart to serve as a pastor, not necessarily a pastor, but just being involved at the church. It's going to be a beautiful combination, and a lot of people's lives are going to be changed because of you, and so your legacy will live on forever.
Well, the only legacy I leave behind are my children and the good work that I do.
Exactly.
And I pray that I bear good fruit.
I have no doubt that you are, and you will continue. So God bless you. Thank you so much for coming on, and I'll keep in touch, and we'll see you on the next point.
Thank you.
You are so welcome. God bless you.
Bless.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and this is Bella Jean, and we're coming to you today to talk to you about setting yourself free by having first a great night's sleep. How's that going to happen? By using My Pillow. My Pillow has incredible products. Bella Jean even has her own dog bed and loves it. She sleeps well at night, so do we. Because we also have the topper, we have the pillows, we've used the sheets, we have the towels, and we even have the slippers. So we are a family that loves My Pillow as much as my Bella Jean, and I'm hoping that your dog will love it as much as ours, and that you'll go to mypillow.com/unmasked. Again, that's mypillow.com/unmasked, and you'll get incredible discounts for your family to be setting themselves free to having a great night's sleep and having an amazing holiday season with My Pillow products. Thank you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Katie Huff with Katie Huff Ministries, and I'm coming to talk to you today about setting yourself free. And what that means is it begins with taking control of your finances. So I was unfortunately introduced to a number of different financial planners that really didn't put me before their profit. And I'm glad to say that Kirk Elliott, PhD, their philosophy is people over profits. They don't rush you. They have a holistic approach. They took my SEP, they invested it into gold and silver, which obviously is diversifying. It may be for you, it may not, but I will tell you this, KirkElliottPhD.com/unmasked, they will go beyond making you comfortable and knowing where your money's going. And so I would just say, take control of your finances. Go to KirkElliottPhD/unmasked for a discount and great advice and peace of mind that you'll have.